statements that they wanted a new Oklahoma City to blame on us. We've got Glenn Beck saying they're getting ready to stage something. We've got Michael Savage. Put all that up there with our clips saying it and all the articles where we warned about it. Basically, you know, you'd be crazy to not look at Obama's people because they did Fast and Furious. I mean, look, you go after who's been caught doing stuff like this before. I mean, the current Attorney General in 1995 was up to his eyeballs in Oklahoma City, folks. Okay? That's why they're the suspects. Ladies and gentlemen, the FBI had warnings about shootings in theaters in Colorado the month before. They pulled that off their site, their little flyer. Eerie coincidence, Colorado University had identical drill on same day as Batman massacre. Exercise revolved around gunmen attacking theater with a smoke bomb. Just like 9/11, the exact same targets, exact same time. So that NORAD would stand down, just like 7/7, exact same targets, exact same drill, exact same time. Wow. The nightly news tonight, we've got to pull up all of those other drill articles and videos where they admit it. Let's go to your phone calls. Again, just total information overload right now at Infowars.com. We'll blitz through it all coming up after some calls. But don't worry, they say let the UN take over our guns now that this happened right on time. James in Arizona, you're on the air. What do you make of all this?
How's it going, Alex?
Good.
Well, basically, just 1 second here. Basically, back when I was in the Marine Corps, we went to boot camp, and a lot of people who deny the fact that you can be brainwashed, all you have to do is look at Marine Corps boot camp recruits, and you don't need drugs. All you need is 13 weeks in a boot camp, and you can brainwash people. So it's very possible to get somebody, even on a low level, to do what they're told very quickly. So it's not impossible at all. And I've warned a lot of my friends about this event, and a lot of them were kind of picking up on it and texting me and saying, yeah, this is all lining up to be exactly what you said. So
yeah, I'd say about 90, and the votes show that on YouTube as well, about 95% of people agree. The 5% or so that say I'm out of line, say, oh, is it always government? Yeah, like I said, the India attack a few years ago at Mumbai was government. It turned out the CIA ran it. I told people months before they were putting Al-Qaeda in Libya because we had reporters on the ground. Was confirmed. Listen, folks, it's scary to go up against these people. It's not fun, but I am forced to respond to this. I am forced to cover this. And look, when you got all the White House advisors saying, gee, an Oklahoma City would sure pull our bacon out of the fire, and then you have it happen, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, like I said, I warned a bunch of people that they were going to get some crackpot to do something like that. And it's not hard. It's always the same MO. It's some guy that nobody knew, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, he goes on a shooting spree. So it's not hard to get somebody in there, slip them some drugs, do it over for a few weeks, get him to talk him into doing something stupid and brainwash him into thinking he's something he's not. But real quick, Alex, I've been trying to get in over the last weeks. I wanted to throw out a few points. One other thing is what I've always been warning my friends of what's called a positive effect false flag, where they'll actually make an event. They'll save people from something bad so they can pose as the heroes as well. No.
That's where they go out and find mental patients and get them to build a bomb and then bust them before. That's a much more humane way to steal all our rights.
Yes. And so I wanted to throw that out there. Always look at the gas prices when they go down and stuff. That's all false flag. Just keep that in mind. One other thing is, I want to tell everybody, to your audience, is that all these drones and all this stuff, and people say our Second Amendment's outdated. Well, all you have to do is go to Radio Shack, learn electronics, and all these drones and all this stuff can be hacked. I tell your audience.
Listen, they're only getting all the drones to intimidate you and make you feel like they've got overwhelming force, and so they can sit back cowardly and send them out to attack you. You just don't face the enemy at the time of their choosing. If we go into some type of hot war with these people, I'd rather just engage in a hot info war. Then you don't face them at their time of their choosing. That's just children and childlike minds that say, oh, we're nothing compared to a modern military. If modern militaries don't have the moral authority, they can't win a war. I mean, this whole thing couldn't even occupy Baghdad, folks. Okay? It's all bark and no bite. All the troops have been soft-killed.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs...
Ladies and gentlemen, Israel says that Iran is planning to attack the Olympics in London, England, coming up here in just a few weeks. And so they've got to attack Iran. Wow, if that happens, get ready for oil prices to at least double. And we had a guest on, a TV producer, who infiltrated just a few months ago and found that there's no real security and that they were saying an event is going to happen at the end of the Olympics so big it's going to change our world forever. And everything that guy told us on air is now being confirmed. Hopefully talking about this will stop something like that from breaking down. Also, we've got incredible articles up at Infowars.com. Colorado University held identical drill on same day as Batman massacre. Well, that's the coup de grace. That's the cherry on top right there. Later, after I take calls, I'm going to go over the evidence of this being a staged event where they use a drugged-up, mentally ill patsy to take the fall. Of course, that's just if you believe the memorandum for the Secretary of Defense, unclassified justification for U.S. military intervention, known as Operation Northwoods. That tells you how to shoot up the movie theaters. And even how to frame the patsies. Isn't that just special? And then there's the Lavon affair and all the others. There's Operation Gladio. That was shooting up movie theaters. Shooting up movie theaters. Why do they like that? Because you can frame your patsy, have your guys in black mask, multiple, quote, what they thought were cops, get away, and then you find the drugged up patsy who's on devil's breath and has had shock therapy. But he'd have to be in some government program where they could, brain interface neurology advanced program funded by the Department of Defense, just like Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Oh, just like Major Hassan. Oh. And then the very university was running a drill of the exact same thing happening. Why do they do these drills? So that there's NSA chatter of a drill so that good people in the NSA and other systems that hear it in live time don't respond, because most of the agencies aren't involved. Very small compartmentalized parts are. That's why on 9/11, exact targets, exact times, hit by hijacked jets, CIA and Department of Defense drills, AP, Reuters, New York Times, look it up. It's in all my 9/11 films. 7/7, Peter Powers, Visor Consultancy, ITN and BBC. It's in my film Terror Storm. Just look it up. We're going to play on the Nightly News tonight. Do a whole report on this. How they do drills. Exact targets at exact time at exact locations. 3 trains and a bus. One group didn't blow up the train like they were supposed to, were all shot in front of everybody at Canary Wharf. They thought they were taking part of the drill. The head of it was Mr. Aswat 7/7, known MI6. Source on that, Fox News, Associated Press, Scott Television, BBC. Showed you those articles yesterday on the radio. For Prisonplanet.tv viewers, we actually showed them. But for radio listeners, we gave you the headlines. But again, I'm supposed to just ignore all this. Oh, exact drill of movie theater attacked. And it's a tabletop. But again, you do the tabletop, so there's the planning, the chatter. You've got to have that. So if you get caught, like FSB got caught in '99 blowing up a 4th building to blame it on Chechens so Putin could get elected. 4th building getting bombed. Actually, the suburb of Moscow, the cops caught him. Because cops had family living in the buildings. They were staked out, and they caught him. They caught the FSB planting hexogen, U.S. and Russia use hexogen, on the pillars in the basement of the apartment building. And the feds in Russia swooped in and grabbed the tapes and grabbed their guys and said, national security, we were running a drill of blowing up the building. And the police kept part of the explosives back that the government didn't grab and came out a few days later and said, no, it was real. They were really going to do it. Of course, you know what happened to those police officers. Same thing that happened to Terrence Yakey from Oklahoma City. cop of the year because he saved dozens of people. It was like a NFL linebacker type, big black guy. Went in, saved all the people, putting them on his back, carrying him out like, you know, right out of Hollywood. And he saw the feds and what they were doing. And, well, you know what they did to him. They tortured him real good. And he told his wife and family, they're following me, they're going to kill me. He told them that night, they're coming to kill me. I've got to go to the storage locker outside town and meet my partner and give him the material. They're coming to kill me. And then he called his partner and he said, the feds are behind me. And, of course, they took real good care of him. And then I've interviewed the police officers who were there and had the government come into their offices and say, oh, you're the head of the K-9 unit, Sergeant Browning. You and your wife are going to be dead if you don't drop this. Is that understood? Oh, the very same Justice Department, the very same man is now in charge. And all these Democratic memos said mass murders, mass shootings, and bombings to be blamed on us. We should just ignore those memos. In fact, I've been on air 3 times now, Friday, Sunday, and now today, and didn't even hit me why I knew in my gut this was an inside job. It wasn't my gut. It wasn't the witnesses saying they saw multiple shooters or heard multiple shooters or saw smoke bombs from both sides or somebody let him in. It wasn't all that. It wasn't that the UN treaty's coming up next week. It wasn't the timing. It wasn't that it was right down the street from Columbine in this military-industrial complex center. It wasn't that he was in a high-tech brain sciences, brainwashing-type Department of Defense-funded program. It wasn't that his very area of study dealt with this type of stuff, erasing memories of troops. This is a Department of Defense-funded program he was in. You've seen the articles. Soon they'll erase bad memories of the troops. Yeah, that's called mind control. See, I just have all this data, and it just slams me. Bam! And I don't even realize why I'm saying it's an inside job until I start sitting back, and it's just an ocean of evidence. Is there a chance he was a lone nut on a bunch of psychotropics, they now admit? Well, he's definitely on the drugs, so he didn't know who he is. Do people naturally get on these, and a cop walks in Walmart and a nut shoots him for no reason? Yeah. That happened in Austin. But this thing's got gun grab written all over it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm going to shut up and go to your calls. It just makes my head spin. Of course, we've got to question a group known for staging false flags, including Fast and Furious. They're caught on Fast and Furious, doing it to blame the Second Amendment. It killed thousands. State Department with Mexico, and the Justice Department estimates 2,000 plus in Mexico, over 200 here. And that's where they traced the guns directly to the dead bodies. Last number I saw was 3 dead cops, 3 dead Border Patrol, 2 of the cops proven, 1 of the Border Patrol proven. Proven. Killed by guns. So that's a false flag that killed people. Killed. K-I double hockey stick. K-I double hockey stick. K-I double hockey stick. Dead, 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 dead. Dead as a doornail. And they think you're so stupid. They write articles in the Financial Times of London about how a big terror attack would sure be great. They think you're so dumb. Gary Hart for the CFR writes a public letter to Ahmed Energy saying, we'll stage terror attacks to blame it on you. Don't think we won't invade you. Do as you're told. Look it up. Look up Gary Hart's letter to Ahmed Energy. He published it in the Huffington Post. We interviewed him about it for Truth Rising. I wish. You think it's fun going up against these people? Walking the razor's edge? They're like, oh, we'll just say he's a kook, and plus it'll make him a martyr if we kill him. Oh, but boss, it'd sure be good to kill Alex Jones. Or maybe one of the people goes rogue. You think this is a fun job, ladies and gentlemen? You think I like saying it's these people? You think I like having cops on who name names of FBI that have come in their offices and threatened to kill them? You think that's fun? If they'll kill cops, they'll kill anybody. You think I like this? You think I just say this